And welcome back to another episode of the Convoluted podcast. We're here for a new season, everyone. Thank you for joining us. I'm here with Liz.
Hey.
And I'm your host, Jesus, aka Tyrant Dominus. So yes, welcome. We have been doing a lot of fun things in the last year for 5 years. And now that we are entering 6 years into this craziness that we've been doing, welcome. And I hope you join us by subscribing or following, depending on if you're watching this on YouTube or Spotify, or listening to it on any podcast listening platforms. Do so. It helps a lot. And thank you for joining us, entering our 6th year. Liz, how have you been while we took our break a little bit here?
I took my break, yeah. No, I don't think I took a break. I worked like 92 hours.
Holy shit.
2 weeks. It was 5 minutes shy of 2 hours.
Now, when you say 90 hours, that's a lot, but then 2 weeks, that's 40. So you worked 5 hours extra each week. That's a lot still. Because my concept of work, like if you work 40, that should be it. Like, yeah, that should be like, that's what should be required. And there's been like, I hope eventually we get to a point, it all depends on job, right? We talked about how some companies are doing the 4-day work week, but still paying them the 40 hours. Like that would be so crisp. Dude, sometimes like what you went through, I think, how many days straight did you work?
I worked a week straight, but a lot of 10-hour shifts and overnight. So my sleep was kind of messed up. That was fun. Yay. I don't get to do overnights until the end of the month. So hopefully I won't be so sleep deprived, but I have like a nice stretch off after that one. So that's nice. I didn't have to do a transition where I got off Monday morning and was back to work on Tuesday morning.
That's
rough.
That is rough. But at least you're at least calming down, right?
Yes, hopefully. It was nice to have some appreciation. My coworkers were wonderful. They gave me a little gift basket. It worked. I was already teary-eyed by Sunday because I had to work my ass off, and I hadn't gotten enough sleep in the last 4 days before that. So the fact that they came in with a little gift basket, had beer at the bottom, gluten-free. And they had a cup, which I have right here, which is amazing. If anybody can see that, it says "Still to be here." And then I had some pop chip corners and a blanket, a Pendleton blanket that you can put out for a picnic, and a $50 gift card to Regal Cinemas. So it was just really nice of them. I was very appreciative, very happy about that. That really made my day, actually, that morning. I was literally almost in tears again. I was like, oh.
You know, when you get that level of recognition, that's really, like, sometimes that's what all just workers want, is like knowing they're acknowledged and not just another cog in the wheel. Because sometimes that's all we are to corporate America or corporate anything. It's just like some people treat their employees like family, which can be good and bad depending on the situation. But you know, sometimes just being acknowledged a little bit, even just a little bit, means a lot. And it has to be beyond words. Sometimes, you know, someone can say good job, which is nice, but a good job can be insincere in a point of time, you know. So sometimes just that little extra, like a gift basket or even just a gift card. That's when
it was nice, just the acknowledgement and the fact that I know there was more than $50 spent on it, because alone the $50 gift card to Regal was awesome. So I know they spent up somewhere about $100, if not more, to acquire everything. So that was awesome. It just because I saved our asses, like literally nobody was coming in for these overnight shifts. So I knew I was covering their asses.
There you go. There you go. So at least you'll be able to go see some movies before we don't get any good movies in the near future because of the whole.
I know. I'm already looking forward to the end of the month. I mean, Barbie Girl just came out, so I'm gonna go see that at the drive-in. So
you're gonna go see in the drive-in? Oh yeah, my sister and I, and she's trying to convince a few other people to go watch it. Because I was planning on watching it because I just watched Oppenheimer last night. As far as this,
recording. I heard that was supposed to be like some sort of comical, like you had to watch Barbie before you watch Oppenheimer.
Yeah, because it was a double feature. It was interesting. It would be interesting to see Barbie then Oppenheimer, because for sure like that. But that's gonna literally spend your day because I think Barbie's like a 2-hour movie, and Oppenheimer is a 3-hour movie. That's 5 hours of your. But yeah, you'll see anyone listening will hear my review for Oppenheimer probably by the time. But just kind of a little snippet here is it's a really good movie. Oppenheimer's a really good movie. I think I learned more about that time of frame and about all the scientists during World War II in that than I did in history class.
That's sad.
So yeah, but
the movie explained it better than the history books.
Well, you get a little. It's a bit dramatized because it's a film, right? But you get to learn a little bit more about some of the people that were behind the Manhattan Project, and that's what's cool. It's a scene because that's what sometimes films do, or just any other medium. When you get more interdepth than just some teacher explaining this war happened on the year 1942 during this time, this battle. I'm like, okay, but if you're visually seeing an actual like, oh wow, that was cool. Sometimes that's when you get like these like the like really well done documentaries, like these docudramas where like explaining some of the things behind the scenes, and even though they're a bit dramatized, you still get a little bit more context out of it. That's like pretty cool. Like this film, even though it felt like it was like 3 hours long, it didn't feel 3 hours. Like it was so much happening. But yeah, that's kind of a mini review. If you guys are listening, I would highly recommend Oppenheimer. Like you have to at least see it one time in the cinema because man, the sound and the score to this film is freaking amazing, and you really need that big sound studio just going boom to you. But yeah, that's kind of my mini review for that. But yeah, like I said, I'll probably eventually watch Barbie in the next week or so. So that'll be that review for Barbie when that comes out. I've heard mixed reviews. I've heard it's positive, but a little bit preachy. But I don't care. I'll give my review once I finally see it.
It's got some good actors in it, so I
heard the performances.
I'm excited.
The performances are great. That's the thing. Like, everyone's performances. This is what I'm hearing. The performances are good from all the cast. Some of the comedy is really good. It's just the message they're trying to do is a bit pushy. But like I said, once I watch it myself, I'll give you my actual honest review on it because it's only hearsay at this point because you can only do so much, and that's what's interesting about review in general. But boy, yeah, it was fun. I like to go to the fun thing since it's a double, like not a double feature, but it's a double thing. Since I went to the cinema last night and it was both Barbie and Oppenheimer's, you can see the people who are going to see Oppenheimer compared to the people who are wearing just pure pink to go see Barbie. So like we were just walking down and like there's a lot of people wearing pink. They're gonna go see Barbie. Yep. And that's what you got to do. I think if I'm gonna go see Barbie, I'll probably just wear a bright pink shirt. Just to kind of
be at the drive-in, so I don't think anybody cares.
True, but you might never know. Okay. Then yeah, that's kind of been my week. It's been a crazy week for me. I can talk more of that in the bonus episode. But yeah, it's been a busy week or weeks because we took a week break for everyone. We like for me and Liz because this is season 6 going in. Some of the things we could talk about here right now is we're going to be doing because of there's a bonus episode explaining kind of what Liz is going to be going through a little bit more. She's going to be taking a kind of a bit of a hiatus. She goes into full.
Sorry, guys. I love you guys, though.
But yeah, you'll know when that is going to come. But she goes into full explanation on that bonus episode. But we went over some of the future bonus episodes, how we're going to be running the show moving forward. A bit of a little bit note there. We're going to be having 3 traditional episodes, maybe 4 depending on how our schedule works, but 3 traditional episodes and 2 bonus episodes a month. So there's going to be 5 episodes a month. We have figured out for the most part what our bonus episode content will be. We won't spoil it here. We're going to make a little trailer for everyone to watch and listen to once we get everything, but we kind of finalized the little things. Now it's just in production. But that's kind of how we're going to be doing stuff a little bit in the moving forward. It's 3 regular episodes a month, 2 bonus episodes, so 5 episodes a month. And then we'll see what we'll go from there. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at right now. Just because there's a lot of things. This year has been crazy. Liz can explain that. She does explain that, so if you want to hear more bonus episodes, have a lot of the behind the scenes stuff.
Yep.
Anything you want to say about that, Liz?
No, just listen to the bonus because that supports us. All the supporting, even just buying our merch. Dominus.com.
Yes, I always forgot. Don't forget, this is week 3. This is the 3rd week for the second inspirational shirt. Don't forget to purchase that because you only have the 3rd week, so 3 weeks after this episode is released, and then it'll be gone forever. Then they'll put them the 3rd one will keep, but then you guys already missed out on your first shirt. Now don't miss out on your 2nd or 3rd. But yeah, if you want to support us financially and get something out of it, besides content, and you would like to purchase some really like comfortable clothing, surprisingly, I'm saying surprisingly, but yeah, that's comfy. I wear around the house a lot and outdoors. Go to merch.tyrantdominus.com. Links in the description below to help us out financially, to support us, to make this show even more. And it helps out, and represent the show. But yeah. But we're gonna get into the stories because man, the weather has not been good for the States or anywhere around the world actually. Up
I don't
north.
think so.
The northern hemisphere. How have you been tempered with this weather these past 2 weeks?
I've been missing it. I've been working so much that I have been missing. So I've been literally in AC, whether being home or at work. I was in the AC all the time, and it was extremely cold at work. That we're literally wearing like little like sweater like things like to keep warm because it's so cold. Because between training somebody, I'm like, I'm not moving as much, so I'm cold.
Damn, lucky you. Well, no, I've been fortunate.
Well, you work in the AC.
Yeah, no, they turned that shit off at night.
Really?
Yeah, they turned it
Surprise.
off. Yeah, for like.
I guess because the temperature's down at night, so.
I don't know. They're trying to save money. They don't care. Like I said, they don't care about us. No, yeah. Fortunately, the week before the heat kind of spiked around our area, I put up my air conditioner. So I have a rule for myself for my room. If it's not 85 degrees outside or more, I don't turn on. I can survive. And then if I have to really do stuff, I can just come to my office since it's like the only place where I actually have a proper air conditioner. And it's comfortable in here for the most part. But yeah, it's been an interesting 2 weeks of heat, and throughout the northern hemisphere in the United States, there's been like record highs and stuff like that. It's like crazy. Now it's affecting some of the industries. Like Liz, go ahead and you can start with the first story.
All right. Texas heat wave has inmates with families worried about the lack of air conditioning in state prisons. Austin, Texas. As the summer heat wave continues to bake most of Texas family, that's true, it's baking us. Family members of the inmates are calling for all the state's prisons to be fully air conditioned. Only 30% of Texas 100 prisons are fully air conditioned. Wow. I'm surprised. During a rally Tuesday outside the Texas Capitol in Austin, families and advocates called for a special legislative session to address the issue. Families of inmates and advocates allege temperatures that often go past 100 degrees Fahrenheit inside prisons in the summer have been responsible for hundreds of inmates' deaths in recent years.
And
Texas
look at
prison
that shit.
Texas prison officials say they have no heat-related deaths in the state's prison since 2012. Where did it jump to? Let's see where it goes.
No, that's just the basic story.
That's it. The basic story. Well,
we could probably look for more, but we get the general gist. Yeah.
Well, I mean, there's so many people on death row in Texas. I mean, should just help in the numbers, right? Just making it easier.
Damn, Liz, already going after. She was after the Ocean Gate people, and now she's going after the inmates. But yeah, it's crazy. It's bad. Like a lot. I think in the, if I remember right, I was reading an article prior about how many people actually have air conditioning in United States. It's either United States or the UK, but only like 30% of people have air conditioning in their home, not like work.
I'm the one out of the 30%. I guess being born and raised in California has its stipulations, so
let's find out. Let's see. See here.
I think that influenced a lot of our thing too. My dad was like, "No, we're gonna have AC." Yeah. We have to have a furnace. You have to have an AC unit.
In the US. Okay, so it's 90% have it in the US. So I'm guessing it was the UK. Let me see. Okay, in the UK, roughly 5% homes have AC.
Holy snakies.
And a lot of their homes were built like to stay warm during the cold winters. So I can only imagine during the summers where like all the heat just gets trapped.
I know. Damn. That's crazy. But would be very insulated for the house to be cold if it was air conditioned.
I think if I'm looking at some of these articles for that, it looks like a lot of the reasons houses in Great Britain aren't set up for air conditioning is because they're older homes and they were built. They weren't structurally built for like AC units. I
can believe that.
And that's oh man, and how hot is it going to be, at least for us this week?
I don't know. This is my first weekend off. I told work I wasn't coming in. I was like, screw that, guys. I love you guys, but I'm not coming in. The next weekend I'll work. I actually work half the weekend because I shift into night shift. So that's why I'm trying to do the drive-in. It sets me into mode.
So we are, at least in our area, we are going to be in the mid to high 80s for the next. So we are in the cool area for now. But let's see, what is the?
Oh yeah, we'll be up in the uppers. Oh, it's up into the 80s for us here. It's not terrible. That's manageable. And it's not so much for a lot of people, so I missed a lot of the 90-degree weather.
That's smart.
Luckily, that's not my fault.
No, that's good though. You kind of want to be like 80's comfortable to be like to do stuff outside.
Yeah,
I think once you hit 90,
floating on the rivers or something like that. So
like 90, I think my comfort weather to be like in the hitting the beaches or anything to cool down, 80 between 90, that's comfortable. 95
max. At the pool.
But anything past that, it's so hot. But yeah, going back to the story, we tangent off to the weather. Yeah, like it's crazy, like seeing that only 30. So basically, roughly 30 prisons have air conditioning. You're literally cooking inmates. You're basically cooking inmates. And what was Texas weather this past week?
I heard
they were like in the hundreds. Here.
Yeah.
Texas
Weather.
weather past week. Okay, it was hitting highs of 106. So the highs were 106. The lows never dipped below low 80s. So
Oh,
our highs were their lows.
ugh. That's
Yeah.
brutal. There's no break. You'd be like taking cold showers like constantly just to stay cool.
Oh
I
my
wonder if most of
god.
the inmates were doing that, like taking cold showers just like to cool down for like 5 minutes before the humidity hit them.
It's just crazy. Yeah, it just that's sweltering, and you don't really have any cool unit. That's when you kind of want to be in solitaire, where it's like dark and like just no sun's hitting you. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I kind of it sucks. It's one of those things where like they're still human beings, as much as Liz does
Yes, they
deny
are.
it. But it just it's wild. It's just like how much are we willing to sacrifice? It is gonna cost the state money, right? That's what it is.
Yeah, but they should have plenty of money considering how much what they support. So
True.
they can support. They have a lot of prisons, so I don't see why not. They couldn't support their.
Well, they do have like 100. That's what it said, like roughly 100 prisons, right? And only like they have to. That's a lot of that. How much would that would be a very expensive, like probably in the couple dozen million furnish all that. That's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And
But yeah, but the 30% of it covered. We have just a. I mean, it's like more electricity bill. But there's a huge spike when they uh, do the electric chair. So what difference does it make?
you know what? No, you know what? Instead of AC, they should just build pools. That pools.
Those pools will be really warm. Just saying.
I don't care. That still keep you cooler than you think. Just throw some ice cubes. I think it'll be cheaper.
Oh, they're gonna be seeing so much people like drowning each other. Screw you!
There you go, Liz. Perfect, Liz. It gets rid of more people for you.
My name is Jeff.
But honestly, why they have enough sun down in Texas? I don't understand why they don't do solar power. They would be able to be more efficient. I mean, just put it right next to the damn
I don't know.
prisons.
That's here's them look really.
I'm just saying, you would save energy. You would be able to afford the AC by doing that. They
Does
have a lot of sun down in Texas.
true, but do they? What's their solar panel, solar energy? Oh, let's see here, Texas. 'Cause I would think they would already have solar.
Not necessarily.
No, they don't have that big. I'm surprised it's a little bit. I wonder if
That's
it's because of a mix of their storms, the hurricane storms that usually pass by. Is it viable for them to hold out the
yeah, I mean, like, what, you got hurricanes down in the southern region, you got tornadoes on the upper regions, the size of golf balls.
So yeah,
Hail.
is it really worth for them to develop that infrastructure if it's going to get destroyed? Like
Yeah,
I don't
true.
think the cost would be they'll be wasting more money than they would be saving at that.
True.
But that's just us speculating. But yeah, I don't. At the end of the day, I think that it would cost too much in materials and infrastructure to build it, to then have probably a 5-year plan to lose it all during a major storm, replace it.
Yeah.
So
Well, I mean, they could build, if they do the AC units, they could build like a structurally sound box around it with ventilation so that way it doesn't like overheat. But like, I could see it, or like something that keeps them protected so they don't get destroyed.
They'll figure it out.
exist.
They'll figure it. That's why
We'll figure it
they
out. But
that
hopefully they do. They award these prisons. These, I mean, I guess you could think about all the staff too, because they're suffering too in this weather too. Unless they have like just certain units have like little AC units,
I could see them doing that.
AC, for the nurses, like inmate stage, infirmaries. So
There you go. All right. Let's jump into a story that we were talking about a little bit ago. Now that the family members have been convicted.
oh, they've been convicted.
So
Damn.
there's 4 family members of a Florida family are convicted of selling a fake COVID cure through online church. If you remember right, we talked about this a little bit back mid
Yeah.
either late 2020 or early 2021. But finally, they have been convicted. 4 members of the Florida family were convicted Wednesday of selling a toxic industrial bleach as a fake COVID-19.
I forgot about that industrial bleach already.
Bruh.
A federal jury in Miami found Mark Groening, 65, and his sons, 37-year-old Jonathan, 35-year-old Joseph, and 29-year-old Jordan. God damn it, everyone had a J in their name.
JJJ.
Guilty of conspiring to defraud the United States and deliver the misbranded drug, according to the court records. The charges carries up to 5 years in prison. That's not enough, actually. Not enough. I don't think so. Their sentence is scheduled for October 6th, so it's going to be a while. We might catch up on their story. Let's see here. Represented themselves, but declined to speak during the 2-day trial. Okay, so that's interesting. I always find it interesting when people say I'm going to defend myself. Like, no, you're stupid. Don't do that.
Duh. The bleach already infected their fucking brain cells. Come on.
So let's see here. The prosecutors called is it Gronans?
I don't know.
I don't really care. The conmen and snake oil salesman, and
that sounds about right.
Yeah, it's been a while since anyone's done that, and said that Reddington's family's Genesis 2 Church of Health and Healing. Holy shit, that's a long title. Sold $1 million worth of their so-called miracle mineral solution. In videos, it was pitched as a cure for 95% of known diseases, including COVID-19, Alzheimer's, autism, brain cancer, HIV, AIDS, and multiple sclerosis. What do you think, Liz? Do you think, as a person who deals in some of these medicines, do you think this miracle drug was too good to be true, or it's not a bad check it out?
It's a false. It was completely false. That's a wide variety of different things. We're considering COVID's a virus, Alzheimer's a genetic disease, so is autism, brain cancer, could be a known disease or environmental, HIV, AIDS. That's a virus, a really hard virus to get through, and multiple sclerosis, another one that's genetic. I mean, I don't know how you can. That's a very broad spectrum: viruses, genetics, environmental. That's hugely big, broad spear.
Not a single fuck was given this day.
Yeah.
Oh.
So yeah. So what they were actually selling was chlorine dioxide. Officials said, when ingested, the solution became a bleach that is typically used for such things as treating textiles, industrial water, pulp, and paper. And according to the Food and Drug Administration's authorities said that the same drinking bleach can be fatal. Yeah, no doubt. Anything else really? The church was selling the substance 2020.
We were still trying to figure out why somebody was dosing their patient with bleach too. So.
Oh, they just wanted to murder them. Come on, Liz. That's...
And look at that shit.
They were a naturopath, so.
So it's so we, like I said, we finally get kind of a bit of a conclusion of what we talked about earlier. I don't remember when I know we talked about them.
I know we did, yeah.
This is when we get to the wild side of things, when you get into the point where people are using religion to kind of not scare people, but to get into
indoctrinate them.
No, it's I think more
I think it's a little bit of
extort.
indoctrination.
No,
Yeah, extortion. Yeah,
this one's not
but
this one's not indoctrination. There's another one I want to do for one of our bonus episodes. I want to talk about that does a really good good indoctrination system, but that's for a bonus episode. But this one is more like extorting because people most religions people just want to use it for some sort of safety net, some sort of clarity, something you want to fall back on. They just want to feel safe. And when a church is saying like we have a cure all, a religious one, you can really get some people, and that's kind of the sadder part when people take advantage of that. Because like we said, it's just some people just want some more form of clarity, and when you're stealing a little over $1 million off the people who believe in you, that's like you're just scamming people at that point.
Mm-hmm. No kidding. It's definitely hard ass gaming.
So I hope like I said, the minimum they are getting out of their
5 years.
5 years, up to 5 years. They might even not even get the 5 years.
I know, that's just stupid. A lot of money.
For basically, I don't know if they they didn't see if any people were. Probably if someone actually died from the cure all, basically, I think they would have been charged more for. Would that be manslaughter? I forget. We talked about this.
Well, who really came forward with that information? Do we know? I mean, it's still like there's so many autopsies going on, and we're still going through a lot of them. I feel like that some of it still got. They should be able to figure out if that was actually from their product. I think they should. I bet it's still. It just hasn't come out yet.
They're still gonna hold them accountable later if there's.
Oh yeah, for shizzle.
Now the thing is like a bunch of people just lost all their money, two lost a lot of their faith, and now and on top of them they're kind of getting away with it in a sense because they're not getting that much time off. Like less than 5 years is really nothing. Even if it's 5 years, that's I feel is not enough for that level of trickery and extortion. I think it's a little bit more. You need to do a little bit more. That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I'm kidding.
Talking about making money, have you been on TikTok, Liz? Have you?
I have not been on too much lately. I have because
you've been working. You've been working.
I've been extremely working, extremely tired. So every night crash.
Okay.
I think one night I went to bed at like 9 o'clock, and I'm so tired. Bank.
Then
I've not been on TikTok. It has been all of it.
Then you have not seen.
I don't know.
So when you scroll TikTok, do you ever watch any of the quote live stuff that are the live streamers for a moment?
Not really.
You scroll past them.
Yeah, I should go past them.
So my question is now, do you know what the word NPC stands for?
Non-player.
You almost got it.
Computer Shit, I know we went over this and I can't remember for the life of me.
Non-playable character.
There we go. I was almost there.
So there's a trend that's been happening these past 2 weeks called NPCs, where a TikToker named Pinky Doll and so many others have been popping off where they've just been doing some wild things. Here, I'll send you a quick Pinky Doll thing, because when you watch it, you'll be wondering what is happening. Just
The
watch that for a
articles that
moment.
posted didn't work really well on my thing. So.
No, that's fine. We just watch that for a moment, and I'll play this for our audios listening quick.
All right, I mean, me.
Take your jug. For you. Hey, hi, yes. You got me feeling like a cowgirl. Let me read it, huh? Watermelon. Can I eat it? Hey, hi, yes. You got me feeling like a cowgirl. Let me... Hey, hi, yes. You got me feeling like a cowgirl. Let me read it, huh? Gang, 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 gang. The robot. Bucky. Oh, thank you, baby. Where's my...
Yeah, well, Liz is watching that, and you just heard everyone listening. So I'll explain a little bit while Liz is kind of watching. NPCing on TikTok for the most part is when you are like kind of reacting to when you're getting gifts and little like trinkets and emojis on stream, because you can gift them stickers and stuff like that. And all the person is doing is standing there and reacting to that. So when they get like a hot dog, they say hot dog. Or when they get an ice cream, they do the ice cream thing. And
so weird.
And
I could watch only like a couple of seconds of it. It was like getting weird on me. I'm like, I don't like this.
The thing is, these people are getting roughly between 20 to 30,000 people watching them a day.
Wow.
Now
that's crazy. I can't watch them.
Now here's
just like they make me irk. Like I don't want to do that.
I'm gonna go with this article. Who is TikToker Pinky Doll who makes 2,000 to 3,000 per stream? So just getting to this, because there's like hundreds at this point, because people are trying to, everyone, if this is what you can do to make your money, make it, because you're making like $2,000 a day. Do it, right? The TikTok responds to the gifts in the same ways a real NPC would in predetermined repetitive answers. As per the New York Times, if anyone sends her an ice cream cone, she reacts to a slurping voice and saying, ice cream, so good. Or sexy baby voice. Creators earn tips from views who are able to buy virtual coins to spend on cartoon gifts that can be converted to real money. During NPC streams, gifts activate specific phrases or actions, performed with the same automatic sounds, tones, and motions every time. The streaming genre got widespread attention when creator Pinky Doll went viral for one of her repeated phrases, ice cream so good, which is said every time the viewers gift her virtual ice cream cone. Pinky Doll, who's basically 500,000 TikTok followers, including rapper Timberland, oh wow, I didn't know, has stirred up so much confusion and intrigue that she's earned her way entry into the database of Know Your Meme. I realize being an NPC streamer is kind of the same as traditional streamers, where usually when somebody donates or subscribes, they say thank you. But as an NPC streamer, the streamers will make a reaction to the gifts as their way of saying thank you. So yeah, so as you see, it's just a trend of people just kind of sitting there for hours reacting to just these gifts things. And this has kind of been one of the trends that's been happening. There's like another one that I want to talk about later, more for a generational purpose. But this is just more of a, why are people watching this? And like I said, if this is how you're gonna like make some money real quick, do it, right? Like earn it, like make it, do it now. So what are your thoughts?
I never got into that, thank God. And I could just tell that was fake person, because just the way the eye was reacting, I was like, that doesn't seem real. That is totally off. What do you know? I could tell by one of the eyes, it was just like not sitting right. Like, I don't know, it's being weird. It was glitchy. So I was like, that's not a real person. But the fact that the way they just reacted,
but that's how they're supposed to act.
I know, but I don't like it. It's just weird. Like gang, okay, over and over and over again. Like, well, really, that's not appealing to me.
Well, think about it. They're a non-playable character. That's how a character you only has a few voice lines will react if you like talk to them. Like they are that. That's what they are. And
no, it's not. It's just weird to me. I don't find that appealing. I don't feel.
Now, then how? Then you got to think. Then why would people find it appealing? That's the thing I'm asking you.
Because they're cute. I guess I don't know.
That's one reason. because it's not just women doing it. There's a lot. Like I said, ever since Pinky Doll went viral, so many people have been doing it. So many people.
Jumping on the bandwagon, huh?
No.
On the bandwagon.
Bruh.
Yeah, you gotta jump at the bandwagon. You gotta just like I said, you gotta really earn the money, right? If you can make like, would you have done it if you knew you could make $3,000 a day?
Maybe. I would like that money right now.
Be honest, like actually be honest. $3,000 a day.
I could literally, if I thought about it and did it smartly, I could probably have a nice like cushion and not worry about.
Because think about it. You worked
actually maybe afford my house.
Because think about it. You worked 90 hours for X amount of money, and then you could have done 5 6-hour streams. So 5 times 6, 30 hours, and made, we'll be generous, 2 times 5, you could make $10,000 in 5 days. What would you have chosen?
I'd probably do that for $10,000.
That's why
that would be my nice little cushion.
So it's one of those things like the trend will probably fade away and people will kind of trickle away, but there'll be some still leftovers. There'll be still some NPCs out there who are still watch people, because that's how trends go. It's just one of those things like they come and go, and some things linger for a while, and some just never disappear but are in the background. And I think the NPC trend will eventually whimper away because there's always going to be some people who are interested. It's interesting for people to be intrigued. Some people say it's like a fetish thing. Some people think it's a control thing. It's very intriguing. Like when I first saw it, I was like, what's wrong with this? You know? Like, and then when you realize that these people are like doing it for like hours on end, like some people do it to between 5 to 8 hours, like an actual shift at work, and they're doing these repetitiveness. I'm like, wow. And like I said, there's dozens and dozens, probably at this point hundreds of people from around the world, because it's TikTok. You can live stream anywhere, and it's like, I think if while it's hot, do it. While it's hot, do it. If you're willing to support these random, because the thing what I feel bad about is like, who are the people wasting their time and money on this? Like the people doing it, do it. You guys earn that money. But it's the people who are spending the money. Like why are you? Because some of the things like I think the cowboy hat, I think that's like $5 someone has to spend.
Wow.
Yeah, I think an ice cream is like $1, and I can probably look it up but yeah, and then I think a galaxy, when someone does galaxy, I mean, I remember that's the most expensive. Let's see here.
$10 or $20.
Cost of galaxy. TikTok. So galaxy is $15.
So when close to 20.
So when someone purchases a galaxy for one of these people, they're spending $15. And it's nothing really different from someone doing a donation, but it's just like, I don't know, for somebody it's just this awkward moment. Like they said, it's like one of those things people do when people are streaming. When they get a donation, they thank them, like, thank you for the $5. Thank you. It's just, I think just because you have this weird level of character in front of you, that it's a bit awkward. I think that's what you get. What you said, what you're getting is this awkwardness, this fakeness, right? I think that's what some people are like. I can understand what they're doing. I don't like it, but I can understand. But it's for me, it's just the people who are willing to like shell out this money, Yeah. But look forward to Liz is about to do an NPC stream because we need that money. We need that.
Except you'll get me 24/7, and I'm not an NPC.
So everyone, okay, well yeah, but now here's the thing: is like once you become famous, people start looking into you, and apparently our the original NPC is being called out for lying online for her age.
Oh, wow.
And that's another thing. It's like you said, for the most part, a lot of the NPCs are females. It's not only, but it's for the most part, it's females. And she's getting called out for her age, for lying about her age. And there's no denying that when it comes to like the eyes of like ages, men want to see younger women, and kind of the vice versa.
Perfect.
And women want to see older men. That's kind of what statistically they say. So people have been looking into Pinky Doll and have now been calling her out for lying about her age. She says she was 18 at one point, 27 another, 19 at another. And people have just been digging around about this. And there's just another part where it's just like, now it's like, where is it suitable for someone to just be able to entertain without just being scrupulated, right? Like, should she be getting this level of backlash?
I don't know. If you're going to be consistent, be consistent. But if you're going to be all over the board, an NPC should, well, technically, a character, they can be any age they want to be. They're not real, right? So, honestly, yes, I can understand why some people want consistency, but it could be anything. It's like if you look at any character at any time in a book or a thing, there could be any age at any given time. So, right?
Yeah, no, I'm reading. I'm just reading. I just want to hear your opinion. Like, should she be?
But she shouldn't be any age. And yes, I think people want consistency. But when you're an imaginary character, they could be any age they want to be. So why are people gawking at that? So what? She can say she's not real, right? She can be any age she wants to be.
The person or the character? Like
character. The non-player. I mean, so if they say that she's 19 or 18, 27, whatever. I mean, the person behind them, yeah, they can make it however they feel. But like
I think what I think when it comes to like these NPC streamers, like they're just playing themselves being the player character. They're just playing a role. So it's like you doing that and lying about your age. That's what's happening here.
I will always lie about my age because I don't look like my age.
It'll be like that. If they caught you on that and they called you out on that,
I would come out with that. I mean, I just DM them to say, hey, this is really my age. I don't have to tell the world. If it really concerns you.
So you at this point you don't really you don't care if some people get scrupulize for that.
Making money. What difference does it make?
True. Like, just get that money while you can before it disappears.
Exactly. And invest it wisely.
All right. This is a story we wanted to talk about before we left for season 6. The first article.
Very, very, very first one?
The one under the blue arrow.
Right. Texas teen located after 8 years was never missing, says neighbors. Mom says he was found unresponsive. Rudolph Rudy Ferris was 17-year-old when he went missing in Houston, Texas in 2015. Questions are swirling around the case of a Texas teenager who was found alive over the weekend after missing for 8 years, including if now the 25-year-old was truly gone. While Rudy Ferris' mother says she reported her 17-year-old missing in March of 2015 after he vanished while on a walk with his dogs. Neighbors who spoke out with ABC 13 disputed that claim, saying he's been spotted in the neighborhood in the past few years. He used to come into my garage, chill with my cousin's son and daughter, neighbor Ross claimed. That boy was never been missing, citing civil court records. ABC reports Ferris' mom, Janie Santana, lives on the same street as Ross in Northeast Houston. Ross claimed that Ferris, who knows as Dolph, would sometimes go to the park by himself, according to the outlet. Ross' cousin, Broderick Conley, claimed he and Ferris often hung out together and had laughing good times, but Ross and Conley said they never seen Ferris in the last few weeks. Another neighbor who wished to remain anonymous claimed that ABC 13 that he was just seeing Ferris living at his mom's home for the years. I was shocked when someone over there said who was missing and we would see him. It was shocking to everyone. Ferris was transported to the hospital Saturday after being found unresponsible outside of a church with cuts and bruises across the body. Ferris said to ABC 13. She also believed he also had been abused. On Sunday, the Texas Center of Missing confirmed Ferris, whose organization was disappeared on March 6, 2015, has been found alive. My son Rudy is receiving care. He seems to overcome this trauma, but at this time he is nonverbal and not able to communicate with us, reads a family statement shared by the Texas Center for Missing per ABC 13. They asked for privacy during this difficult time, but share some more details as Rudy continues to heal. At this time he went missing, he was suffering from depression after losing his brother in a motorcycle accident. Citing family members on Tuesday, Santana claimed the man that he was spent time with, seen living with her, is actually her nephew, according to NBC.
So it's a basic someone who's been lost was never actually lost.
Mm-hmm.
And it's wild. This story is wild. And
I think I ended up posting another one too. So I don't know if you saw that article.
Is there more to the story?
Not the same person.
Contact. Okay, so let's see here. They're speaking out about her 25-year-old nephew, who authorities in Texas recently revealed had been gone for 1 day rather than 8 years, that the public believed was missing. Yeah, we know this part. Questions began swirling around the case shortly after it was announced on Sunday by Texas Center for Missing that Ferris was found alive. Samantha said that her son was taken to the hospital to be found unresponsive outside of a church and cut and bruises. His body's... Okay, we know this part. However, during the Thursday afternoon press conference, police claimed that Ferris had been living at home with his mother the whole time, and Lieutenant said... Okay, we know this part. Okay, the lieutenant also alleged that Rudy's mother continued to deceive police by remaining... adamant that he was still missing. Oh, we know this part. Okay, where's all the new stuff? Fellow is now safe and back with his mother by choice. Yeah, we know this part. Neighbors. So okay, wait, where's the new stuff? Tragically, a few years. Okay, we know that part. There's nothing new there. All right, give us a second, everyone. Okay, actually, there's a better. Give me one. I'll share this.
Starting with...
Okay, now we're back, everyone. Thank you. So here we go.
This story is so messed up. For a few days, I've been holding off on this story until we got more information, but yesterday it blew wide open and the details are shocking. Right, so on Saturday, a 25-year-old man was found with cuts and bruises laying unconscious outside of a church in Houston.
Yeah, that's what we just talked about, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the next day we found out it was Rudy Farias, a man who actually went missing 8 years ago when he was 17 years old, with his mother saying, "My son Rudy is receiving the care he needs to overcome his trauma, but at this time he is nonverbal and not able to communicate with us." And family members telling NBC that he was depressed after his brother died in a motorcycle accident when he went missing. But then neighbors began speaking out saying, "What are you talking about? We've been seeing Rudy in your home for years." With one neighbor even saying he used to come in my garage, chill with my cousin, son, and daughter. That boy has never been missing. And another adding that he had seen Farias living at his mom's home for years.
Yep, this is everything we just talked about.
So then in response to that, Rudy's mom said, "No, the person that you've been seeing isn't Rudy, that was my nephew." But then the neighbors looked at a picture of the supposed nephew and were like, "Yeah, no, we've definitely seen Rudy." And so
that's when it starts getting sketchy, things like that.
Yesterday, a counselor and Houston detectives tried to question Rudy, but reportedly when his mom was in the room, he wouldn't say a word. But then the moment she left, he spilled everything for the next hour and a half, with the counselor explaining.
I heard horrific things from that young man. And I did not want him to see me start shedding tears, but I couldn't hold back the tears because of the things he was saying to us.
And according to the counselor, Rudy actually did run away at first in 2015, saying that he was tired of living like a slave, because allegedly his mom would take him to her workplace and make him do the work for her, with him also adding that she didn't respect his boundaries and specifically made him get in bed with her.
She made him play daddy. He said that he didn't like getting in the bed with her, that he tried to sneak out of the bed and sometime hide under the bed, but she told him he had to be her husband.
Also adding,
Bruh.
Damn. That's so fucked up. So that woman's mentally insane.
Tell me about it. It's time for. But yeah, it is a wild story, but it doesn't seem like it's over yet.
that Rudy said she made him take drugs, including hallucinogenic mushrooms, for years. Also that his mom interrupted his showers and made him bathe her with soap. And reportedly with all this, when he returned home 2 days after running away, his mom allegedly convinced him that the police were out there looking for him and he would be arrested unless he stayed hidden. And so you have these lies, you pair it with him just tripping and makes him more amenable to these kind of paranoid suggestions. And so for the next 8 years, she allegedly hid him from investigators. Meanwhile, she kept up this ruse with police that she was concerned about her missing boy. With the counselor claiming that Rudy's mom did let him see neighbors on occasion, but he had to use a different name, with her apparently hoping that they had forgot about him because enough time had passed, and adding that 911 calls were made about him several times and law enforcement just didn't properly investigate. But also then, after the interview yesterday, the counselor says that Rudy's mom came back in and told him to say that he made it all up, with her not realizing that she was being recorded. And apparently Stockholm Syndrome is strong as fuck, because he said this.
Kept saying, I don't want her to go to prison. I don't want her to get in trouble. I don't want her to go to jail.
And now you've got
it is wild. What
that is hella wild. I wow.
So what are your thoughts on this story?
This woman is so mentally fucked up. The fact that she has her son thinking that way, wow, and doing things. Oh my god, that is horrendous. The trauma is totally, yeah. He's nonverbal around his mother because he knows he's gonna get the shit beaten out of him.
For like 8 years, basically 8 years, a good almost a decade of his life was basically entrapped, with probably some minor like being able to go to the neighbors apparently and stuff like that. But it's like it's one of those things like you're dead, but you're not dead until like some people like notice. Wait a second. It's wild.
I wonder why there was such a. I mean, if the neighbors are saying like he's not missing, like he's right there, like. You know, hitting in plain sight, essentially.
Yeah, basically, he was hitting in plain sight. It's just a wild story, and hopefully, Rudy will get the help he needs, because that is a very
mother too.
That is a very tragic and real story that it's not a one-time thing. There's things that happen to a lot of people like this. Like I mentioned, Stockholm Syndrome is a really strong. Like
mental
symptom.
Hold over somebody.
Yeah, and for anyone who's wondering what Stockholm Syndrome, it's when you basically kind of feel like, I believe, empathy for your kidnapper or captor. That's what it is, kidnapper, captor, and you kind of just feel bad for them and want to help them, and the victim becomes the one. You
believe their
motives and
stories.
Like
we have a real one too. I mean, it's been played all over Hulu and Netflix recently. I forget the name. I'm gonna mutilate it. So but yes, it's real life. I mean, we hear it all the time. I mean, rapper Eminem talked about it. I mean, with his mom. I mean, it's a real life mental case, and we have to really address it. I mean, for both sides of the party, not just one.
So this level of like basically entrapment, mixing in like psychedelics, and you're just basically trapping him not only physically, mentally, emotionally, just like in this weird spiral. Man, boy, those 8 years must have been a wild ride for this individual. Like, I can not even imagine or fathom the level of stuff this individual had to deal with, because it is heartbreaking. It's disappointing. And somehow whatever neighbor or whoever individual put in the word to, hey, this person's not been gone, even though it's been like 8 years, like someone put out a word. Because yes, definitely definitely needed a rescue. And the sad thing is, like, he feels still bad for his mother. Now, should he? Now, that's my question to you, Liz. Should he feel bad for his mother? Yes or no?
He's been brainwashed. It's just simple as that. He's been brainwashed to feel like sorry and feel like bad for his mom. Like, I don't want her to go to jail. But because he's been so brainwashed, it's sad as it is. It's true, though. I mean, I don't feel like I should be sorry for the mom, but the mom obviously needs some fucking help. She's got something going mentally wrong with her to affect her son to do that. I mean,
so is that a no?
No, he shouldn't feel sorry for her. I mean, that's just it. But he's so mentally brainwashed.
So we'll see. We'll see what if they continue with the Soren to kind of fully probably prosecute and everything. If we get to see more updates to the story, kind of like what we did in the prior thing, we'll see what happens, because it's a wild one. It is a wild one, and hopefully, like I said, Rudy gets some help and hopefully starts to live somewhat of a normal life, in quotes, because you kind of hard to live a normal life when you have lived almost a decade in basically entrapment. But boy, that is when you're the person who's supposed to be taking care of you does that to you, to anyone. That's crazy. So, any final thoughts on that?
Nope. I just hope they get the help they need and deserve.
Okay, so let's get into our final part. Like I said, everyone, thank you for coming this far into the episode. Don't forget to share the show on any of the podcasting platforms, on Instagram, any social medias. Just share it. Word of mouth is one of the best ways. Purchase a merch. It helps us out a lot. Links in the description below. So Liz, go ahead and jump into our final.
I want to know what the die was before you say it.
3.
Thank you. Am I the asshole for ditching my girlfriend at a 5K because I wanted a better time?
What do you think immediately, just hearing the title?
5K. I don't disagree. I don't want to run a 5K either.
No, ditching. He wanted a better time.
5K. That's still running through my head. Running literally.
Okay. Continue then.
My girlfriend, 31, female, and I, 36, male, have been together for about 2 years now. We live together. About 9 months ago, I picked up running as a hobby, and I have since grown quite fond of it. I currently run on average about 25 miles a week. Wow, that's pretty good. A few months ago, I decided I wanted to try 5K or 10K, and after some Google searching around 5K in my city that looked fun, I registered for it. Paid the fee and decided to start training specifically for it. I mentioned in passing to my girlfriend that night, and she said if she could come too. I was psyched about the idea of running a 5K with her, and she said yes, but warned her that it would be probably want to start running because it was going for a sub 27-minute time, which might be tough for a complete beginner. She said she would like to train with me, which again sounded fun. Next morning, I woke up at 5 a.m. for my run, as I usually do, but my girlfriend was not up for it, and she told me she'd go later. This continued for a week, and then 2 weeks, and finally I managed to get her up once for a run. She was miserable the entire time, and I basically didn't get any exercise. Last Friday, the day before the race, I asked if she would really up for it. She insisted she was. She then told me she would just skip gallop it like she used to with her mile runs in middle school. Wow, middle school, that's a long time ago. Yeah. I asked her to just demonstrate what a skip gallop was, and she showed me this bizarre side step gallop as she would cast on her legs. I told her she really... Sorry, I can't get the image out of my head. I told her she seemed like a really inefficient way to run, but she insisted it always worked for her. Saturday was the day of the race, and right out the gate, she utilized her skipped gallop strategy. 2 minutes in, I realized she was already passing completely gassed. She started asking me to wait so she could walk together. I apologized, told her I loved her, and left her behind to finish the race. I ended up with a time of 26 minutes and 43 seconds, beating my goal. Nice. After the race, I tried calling her, but she wouldn't pick up. When I made my way back to the car, I realized she had left me. I took an Uber home, and then right then when I was walked in the door, I met with a crying, shrieking how I ditched her. I tried to calm her down and explain that she was kind of bought in and on herself, that she was not interested in whatsoever. Yesterday, she gave me the silent treatment all day. Do I deserve what I'm getting here?
Okay, what are your thoughts, Liz? Does he deserve it?
No. He emphasized that he was interested in doing this. This is something he wanted to do. He was totally kind of like, oh, I'm going to do this. I paid the fee for it. I'm going to put the work into it and make the effort for it. And he wound up beating his own time that he really wanted to. So that was great on him. So she was the lagging part, and she never wanted to really truly committed to it like he was. So she was at fault for completely here. He told her, come on, I have to really put in the work to make this happen. This is a 5K. Like, I totally get it. That's not my thing. That is, if that was somebody I was dating and they were their thing, I'd be like, totally, I'll root for that sidelines for you, honey. I'm not going.
And look at that shit.
Oh, yeah. No, I agree totally. It's when you set a level of commitment to something physically, be it a 5K, a hike, or anything like rock climbing, something that you're like, decide if it takes some level of training or at least prep work. If you wait till the last minute and then you're not having fun because you did not prep, it is only on you, the individual who did not. You shouldn't be placing the blame on everyone else. And if you have a partner, be it a lover or a friend who is willing to take the time to help you during these moments, you should not be like shooing them away, right? They're taking their time to help you to get to whatever activity you decided to jump into. He's totally not the asshole. She is. It's disappointing because yeah, it's a moment where they were trying to just she was trying to do something fun with him, but didn't put any effort to, because she seems like she was interested, but she's like, no, I'm not today. And it's that level of procrastination that it's just like, ugh. Like, I get to that sometimes. I get to that level sometimes. But sometimes you just got to buckle down and sit down. That's kind of what I was doing for the past 2 weeks during our break, basically, is prepping for these new episodes and stuff, getting them ready to make them look nice and neat. Because, like, if I waited...
To look amazing, y'all. I appreciate it.
So it takes a level of, like, you really have to put in the work for it. If not, then why are you doing it? You know?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, I agree with you 100%. He was willing to put the work in, the efforts into it, and trying to do it for himself, for a betterment of himself and an enjoyment, a hobby, whatever it might be. But she was the one procrastinating, not willing to put in the work for the effort to do so. She should have realized right off the bat this is not for her. Doesn't like running. Good on her. Okay, fine. Cool. That's her, that's her thing. That's just his hobby. But if she was willing to really put in the effort, like she really wanted to join in on it, she should have put in the work and the effort for it. But she didn't. She needs to fucking grow up.
I think the moment she said, like, yeah, the way I used to run back in middle school, should have been like,
That would have been a solid clue. That's what I was like trying to figure out, the side gallop. I'm like, oh my God, that's hilarious.
Yeah, if anyone's wondering what a side gallop...
Again, middle school was how many years ago for us? I mean, that's like 20 years. Come on. Because like, roughly our ages, so...
Does anyone know what a side gallop is? Because I know what it is, because I used to run like that every once in a while.
I kind of have an idea mentally. I don't know.
It's like you're skipping, like you're side to side and just skipping, like you're just skipping side to side.
Oh, that way. Okay, now I see
a gallop. You're just skipping, like skip. You're skipping basically.
Side gallop. Now I can see it.
Yeah, you're just skipping basically, which is literally inefficient because you're not making any headway. You're just still kind of staying in place. You're not running. Oh my God. Yeah, he's not the asshole. She is. It's if you're going to put in some time and effort into a hobby, stuff like that, you need to put in some work in. All right.
Exactly.
Yeah, everyone, that's our final start for the first episode of season 6. Thank you for listening, Elizabeth. Thank you for joining me. Like I said, share the podcast on social media, buy the merch. Tell people, word of mouth helps us a lot. So, everyone, thanks again for listening or watching. Until next time. See ya.
Bye.